We can't see those people. There are people here. All kinds of people here.
Mucho mi amigos.
There's
mucho
even
amigos.
there's even other people here who are not here.
That's true.
Yeah,
They
dude.
didn't know.
Max Friedman says there's nothing wrong with eating pets.
Wait until we have.
Where are you from, bro?
Haiti.
Wait until we have Elijah's face reveal.
Oh, yeah, Elijah doesn't do that.
No.
Andrew's hiding, and there's Dr. Jack.
Andrew's working out. And we're not all drinking beers.
Nope, there's
Nope.
one of us who's not drinking a beer.
See who goes.
Question for Matt. What is he getting at?
Oh, I texted him. I love him. You know what I'm getting at, big fella.
So we've decided that that Trump could have done a lot better at that debate than he actually did. But there's Andrew. But I still think he's gonna win. David didn't even watch the debate.
I didn't get to see it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's
Closing
probably not
statements
worth
were like.
Was Kamala Brat?
it.
I'll go
Okay.
first.
I have my analysis, which is when it was obvious that Trump was debating with the moderators, Kamala did not look presidential and she didn't look forceful enough for people to vote for her to be president.
Yeah.
Like there was a part where like it was just Trump and the moderators debating and she was just standing there.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that hit her hard. Well, we can hope. I will repeat what I have said before. There are 0 moral people voting for Kamala Harris. There are ignorant people voting for Kamala Harris. There are immoral people voting for Kamala Harris. But you can't be both knowledgeable and moral and vote for Kamala Harris.
Touche.
Glad to hear nobody disagrees.
Where's Elijah?
That's why we didn't let Elijah in.
He won't vote at all.
You don't have his mask.
Yeah, he'll probably just stand there and talk.
Read his book.
He does that.
Okay, my take, man.
No.
My take. Trump did okay, did about expected. Kamala shot a lot better. She shot about 3 times more impressive with her flowery rhetoric and poise. Her poise in the pocket. That's my take. The meta point would be, what does a debate like this really sway the demographic that pays attention to it? And I think it probably went Kamala's way because I think it's more effective, more important, more vital for that demographic to be swayed in such a scenario. And red has to win by a big deal. Blue can kind of squeeze away, manufacture, work the machine to get over the ledge, get over the hump. That's Matthew's take.
So Colonimus Eliezer is the winner tonight. He didn't actually watch it.
Wait, I
Neither
win
did
something,
Elijah.
right?
That's all it takes.
I didn't get to see it.
Do most of the Democrats that support Kamala like her for real, or is it just that they dislike Trump more than anything? I really think that's what the Democrats are running as.
There's some like.
There's
young people that
Elijah.
really like-
Everybody look at Elijah.
Elijah, we have the stream up just for you.
Yeah.
I've seen some people that really like Kamala.
But I would say-
but
But
they're
it's like
falling
young
in
women.
line.
They
But- But I would
she's
say
a woman.
But I would say the overall
It's
gist is both sides are running off resentment. The Trump is the giant wrench to the regime. The blue is a giant never Trump. It's
Yeah.
a,
I mean, Trump's a
Have you been on-
fascist.
have you been on stream a lot? Have you been on stream a few times?
A few times.
You're much more attractive in person than us.
Oh wow! I love my hair
Dr.
now.
Jack, should I put the camera on
Yes,
you and let
yes.
you talk or no?
Look how handsome he is.
Sure, just for a second. I mean,
Two
So-
cents.
my question is whether the debate is more about people who watch the debate in real time, or whether the debate is about the
Soundbites.
sound bites afterwards, because Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, has a strong vocal affect that sounds very impressive and empowering when it's in a soundbite, and is it absolutely exhausting when you listen to it for 90 minutes.
She sounded really whiny.
Whiny, I mean, it was at the border. Some of it was whiny, and some of it was just that we're
Pseudo-sentimental.
gonna do it. Very
Pseudo-sentimental.
pseudo sentimental, absolutely. And so if you watch just little bits and pieces, that'll come off better than if you watch the whole thing.
100% agree.
She was supposed to. She needed to show that she knew policy tonight, and I don't think she did that at all.
Touche. I agree with that. But I also think she needed to show that she wasn't a empty talking point buffoon, and she spoke. It goes to my thing. Grim Grizz tweeted a couple weeks ago that in her interview when she had the vice president that she sounded presidential, and I gave him crap for it. And I kind of got to eat crow because today she played the part is kind of the metaphor I would say.
She sounded more intelligent than she usually does. If you guys go to the Dr. Rollergator Twitter account, which you definitely should, everybody should be following Dr. Rollergator. He has these videos, Veep Thoughts with Kamala Harris, which are hilarious. And yeah, she didn't sound as dumb as she usually does.
Does it do side by side with the show, Veep? Is that
No, it's like Jack Handy here. Let me see
Okay.
if I can find it.
because I've seen some of that where they blend in the side by side with the actual HBO show Veep, and it's scary how art has predicted and prophecy the clown world we live in.
Oh, what was that
That was
picture? I like
intense.
that.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
That is intense.
It's when he said, "I'm speaking."
Dude, if I look like that at his age, I would
You look
be happy.
great.
I'd be
I just
alright.
complimented.
Okay, let me actually show people because now they're wondering
Did
what
Trump have
you're doing.
any policy, anything?
He
'Cause
made
I always hope for that, and he kind of never.
I think it's a categorical error. He's not a politician.
Look, we've got Shadow.
he said towards the end, he was like, "Why haven't you done
Yes.
all of the things that you're saying you would?" And he asked why, like in terms of the tariffs, he's like, "You're criticizing my tariffs. They've been there for 3.5 years. Why haven't you taken the tariffs off?" Which I think was a good question.
And to that point, I thought the rub of
Deep thoughts.
is she just another
And now, Deep Thoughts.
By Kamala Harris.
You know, when we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
That's not one of the best ones. Let me see. Yeah.
my point is
This is a psyop. She's
when-
smarter than that.
when he would try and put her as just another version of Biden, she did
By
at
Kamala Harris.
least a symbolically.
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy.
Wow.
I actually know the real human being behind Dr. Rollergator, so no, he is not. He is not some psyop. Eric, we're making you small because there's lots of us and there's only one of you, and you only have 9 fingers.
Is he there?
You didn't say anything, Eric. Can you hear us, Eric? Eric?
Yes.
Can I make
Can you
my
hear me?
point?
Sure.
So I thought maybe not the most important, but I thought it was of some importance was where he was trying to paint her as just another talking head of the regime of a very Biden-esque philosophy and worldview, and she, very much in a kind of straightforward, though I think it's obviously symbolic way, was trying to say, obviously, I'm not Joe Biden. This is what I want to do. I want to change this. I want to change that. Where for me, as someone who pays attention to, some regard of policy and politics, I don't see the drastic disparity in their worldview and their approach to policy. I think it's going to be more of the same, to be kind of simple. But I thought she handled that, at least, like I said, symbolically, rhetorically, somewhat well. Perhaps the Zoms will buy it.
Eric, we're waiting for you to say something. You haven't said anything. We're mad at you.
Your mic.
We can't hear you.
Sorry. Oh, well, that could be a problem.
We hear a little bit louder.
Okay, can I speak? Is this loud enough?
Get closer to the mic.
My mics are in my ears.
Oh. Okay, fine. What do you have to say, Eric?
Oh, it was about what I expected, honestly.
Me too.
I mean, Trump was Trump. Kamala was Kamala. It's, in general, debates are not really great for actually understanding much of anything. And unless you have people there literally with their research teams that can provide evidence, everybody's it's a he said, she said show. And, it goes about as well as that sort of stuff will go. So, I mean.
So since I didn't see it, it sounds like it should have been more of a slugfest between two of them, at least for almost getting the energy up or whatever, and it wasn't.
So Elijah pointed out, which I think he was absolutely correct in, that this was not 2016 Trump.
Yeah.
2016 Trump was a lot sharper, a lot, he's getting older, and not Donald Trump is a much more popular candidate than Kamala Harris. Yeah.
There we go. A second person.
No, I definitely think she did better than she did better than I had hoped she would do. I was hoping that Trump at least would unload on her the way that Tulsi Gabbard did, but he doesn't. He didn't do that at all.
Well, to drill down, I had heard that she had, and in somewhat a similar fashion to Trump, had not really taken a lot of her duties seriously, and the interrogation of really what's going on in the world and what's pertinent to her as a vice president seriously. And it seemed, for lack of better words, it seemed she had laid off the wine tonight. She was very locked in. There wasn't that because that's what I had expected going into. I was like, from what I had seen in the past 3 months, I was like, this woman is not going to be able to do this. Unless it's softball questions, unless it's totally scripted, she's going to struggle. And as much as I hate to say it, she didn't. She did okay. She did, like I said, probably about 2 or 3 times better than I was expecting. So totally agree.
How are we judging performance? Because I saw one comment on Twitter that was talking about, I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he was saying that Kamala had better substance, and I was just trying to figure out how anybody could come away with that. I mean, obviously, it's a part of.
There was zero substance. I mean, we got to remember where we're at. There's not a lot of substance. There's not a lot of policy.
Right.
A lot of just symbolic referencing, in my opinion.
Because it sounds like it's Kamala just didn't do as bad.
Yeah. No,
that's not a great place to be.
That's a good framing.
But yeah.
Is she actually a gun owner? I have a very hard time believing she actually owns a gun.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah, she said she was.
How much?
She said her
I don't
and
want to
Waltz
say
were.
that out.
She said her and the VP were.
Yeah, Waltz, obviously, I mean, if you live in Minnesota, I can't imagine that he's not a gun owner, especially but yeah, So
Kamala
this,
looks more likely a gun owner than that guy.
She's a DA.
I mean,
Yeah, she's
I don't know if you heard when I said this, Garth, but I thought what hurt her the most was the part where Kamala was where Trump was debating the moderators. Like it was back and forth between Trump and the moderators, and she looked like she was a spectator there. And frankly, I think for somebody who has to prove that she can be president, I don't think that would do it.
wait, what is
no, why-
the
young
the
gun-
gun
young gun.
owner comment really stung Trump? What was that? What was that?
I think it was a little bit more than what he could kind of counter and deal
What was
with.
her comment?
She
though?
said that her and Waltz are gun owners. That he's not. That they're not. Because he had set it up as
He
that.
said she was going to grab your guns, and she's like, I have to refute that.
And every
we both own guns.
Dang. Okay. Wow.
Well, that's the thing. So the question becomes:
Wow.
is she going to get Trump voters, or is she going to alienate her base? And I really don't know what the answer to that is.
But your intuition during it was that you felt it was more alienating the base.
She definitely said a lot of things that would alienate her base.
Pro-Israel.
Her Israel speech was a rehearsed. I got to get the Jews on my side speech, which I mean, it's smarter than what Twitter would tell her to do. And in a lot of places, she was not activating her base. She was saying things that her base dislikes.
And
now, does that mean they're not going to
That
think?
last comment is not true.
No, that is true. No, see, this is the thing. We have become so used to believing that the far left position is huge, and it's not.
yes, it's
I
because
guess.
the cultural.
Every woman with children I know will post about guns.
You're in
except
LA,
for,
though.
like a couple.
You're in LA.
No, even in
He's not
Missouri,
from LA.
they
Well, and women skew to the left. It's a little bit blurry. That and let's be honest. Let's be sophisticated about it. The when they drill down, they're talking about assault rifles, which none of them even know what that means. And I believe that she did just recently. Don't quote me on it. I think she did have a comment, Kamala, about dealing with assault rifles.
Yeah, she wants to mandatory gun buyback.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, okay, so are we all agreed that we need to repeal the 19th Amendment?
Oh my gosh, closing me up.
We'll never get married.
I think Jacob's just saying that because he's a cat lady too, and Taylor Swift told him to vote for Kamala, so
No, but there's an ad campaign that I've seen run with Kamala where it's basically she's tough on border security. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that lately?
Yeah, they kind of switched positions like 6 months before the. It struck me as she made a comment about not solving issues to run on issues, and it just was so rich for me because I had the same framing as goes that topic. I was like, similar to how you guys are doing immigration, like you guys just let immigration run wild to where at the very last minute you were like, hey, you know what, we can do these few things to tighten up our immigration. It's all a mess.
well, it's the gamification of politics. It's all posturing and playing moves as opposed to having principles that you actually.
Well, and I'll go further as someone politically, philosophically read to some degree. It's the one parameter of democracy. It's public opinion. Is if you can sit there and wield and manipulate that public opinion, and you have the Hollywood, you have all of the media, you have all of the education, you have a grip on the public opinion. And so if you can sit here and play the game to bring in the client population, the new immigration population, who supposedly will vote for you, check out Cuba in Florida. It doesn't always work out, or Cubans in Florida. But then so turn on a dime and say, oh, but look, now we're trying to look at our stance on immigration after 3.5 years of insane immigration. That in the best light, that manipulates that public opinion.
I mean, that kind of assumes that people haven't figured out that they're just being lied to nonstop by.
Yes, but we also have to just understand that, right? It's the the average distribution, the normie, as they say.
Kamala Harris had one volley where she was like doing all the left wing Blue Anon lies. Like she just rehearsed every single one of them, and of course the moderators didn't say anything. I think that was meant to rile her base.
Bless whoever's sneezing back there.
Yeah, and
Oh, I'm
the
allergic to
moderator,
cats.
the moderators also, I believe, only explicitly fact check Trump. They never push
Yeah.
back on blatant lies of Kamala, which is
And then
expected.
they did let him run on a bit, which I thought
Yep.
was so that was kind of the balance, I guess. Such as it was.
Is Taylor Swift's votes? I mean, are they swing voters? Are Swifties actually swing voters?
No, they're bleeding heart. Blue people ever since.
Probably. I mean, well,
2016,
don't all the polls
Trump
talk
said,
about basically childless
by
women?
the, you know.
It's down.
Don't most of the polls
Age.
isolate childless women as a major demographic for Democrat
It's
votes?
It is.
Market here.
Trump or not Trump. Taylor Swift's fans are either like, girls that can't vote or their mothers. So it's just like, I don't know.
Well, and to go ahead,
I bet
Eric.
there's a lot of. I was going to say, I bet there's a lot of, kind of, well, there's a lot of young, upwardly mobile professionals that are women that are not necessarily taken. That, I mean, we keep on talking about how so many of the college graduates are in fact women that have been hired and are actually bringing in a lot of the
It's a great point.
prestige positions and stuff like that. And I
It's a
think
great
that's-
point. And where my intuition goes is, and this is raw, so hang with me. What happened to the Hillary Clinton vote? A lot there she didn't get the woman as much as you would have thought. And so it's where I'm trying to drill down on is can Mala get that vote to the same extent? Blue machine aside,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the millionaire wife like my sister is gonna pull the lever for Kamala just because she's got ovaries. I don't know. Maybe the younger women are gonna just pull the lever just because she's got ovaries and the melanin. I'm not sure. And just to go back to Young God's comment on the age, that stuck out to me is that Kamala flipped in such an ironic, so much dissonance framing, pulled the old man card on Trump as we stand with a literally feeble and dementia rattled commander-in-chief to this day. I mean, the dissonance is so heavy.
But that's Trump's fault. Trump should have
Yeah. Countered.
There was a lot of and a lot of people on Twitter were saying this too. He missed a lot of opportunities to say, "Hey, you're the guy who was covering for Biden. You're the vice president.
7
Why-
days.
How come we didn't know? You're the one who's supposed to be making sure that the vice president is competent."
Yeah.
I love me some Young God.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Kamala is like
Ruthless.
60 years old. I say women in public office should not be allowed to dye their hair. Otherwise, we'd have just an aging
I love you,
old
Young
lady.
God. And to go back to the not countering part, it comes to, in my framing, is he's not a politician. He's not this polished rhetorician. The way I see it, he's a giant wrench. He's a giant middle finger to everything the West is doing wrong. For better or worse. And there's plenty of worse there, and there's some better there. But
So Garth says, also, am I the only one that thinks that Chinese tariffs are only relevant for areas in competing American industries? No. I mean, otherwise it would just increase the price of supply chain products. Yes, we are live.
Okay. I would. Here's my, and I'm not an expert, and if we don't have Max here, my thought on that is, it comes down to the cost benefit analysis of, do you want the market that is America? Will you make the market that is America suffer, perhaps go somewhere else because of the tariff, or do you eat the tariff to say, no, I want the freaking 350 million people that are going to buy this? And so, in a certain construal, I think, people give Trump shit for that, and midwits all around. But I think there's a there. It's like, no, you're going to pay this, or else the American population is going to go somewhere else, or you are going to deny your chance at the American population. That
In
market.
any case, tariffs make it easier for America to actually produce things ourselves, which
That's a
we
good
should
point.
do.
It's a good frame. It's a good frame.
What?
Okay, I have to say, the funniest part
Best comment.
the funniest part of the debate was definitely when Trump started talking about Haitians eating dogs.
He's mentioned that? Oh man. I thought it was ducks and geese.
Yeah,
It's dogs
there's
now?
no dogs.
Oh.
The fact checkers are all losing their minds, and it was hilarious.
Oh no. I literally just heard about that today.
And the moderators like got into this thing with him over it,
Oh no.
that there's no evidence, and just the fact that we're having this discussion.
They were only cooking them. You can't
He
prove that they ate them.
He did say that there was a city manager that he mentioned. I
Yeah.
I found out about this today, so I don't want to
Okay.
sound ignorant.
The one case of a neighbor eating a cat was somebody who was born in the United States did it, which is disturbing. And there is a video of it, but the fact that they people that they were just talking.
We're in clown world.
It's
That was another meta point of
That's
of the whole
wild.
thing
He
is
said that.
recognize where the hell we're at. I want to be gentle. Where the hell we're at, people. This is where we're at.
I hate to say it, but we're in a day and age where it's not uncommon for a lot of kids to be talking about eating cat, but just maybe not the word cat.
Well done, Eric.
He's right. The government doesn't want you to know.
Some
That's
people just take it a little too
Grab 'em.
literally.
Do you have to have a hunting license to take the ducks and everything?
I would assume. At least I saw
Eric,
a few
we can
of them.
barely hear you.
I'm sorry. I'll see if I can get some different headphones.
Well, did you see Eric Swalwell complaining about the Trump cat memes?
Swalwell
It
is a
was
disgrace to
hilarious
Eric
in
everywhere.
Congress. I can probably find that thing where. We're all squeezed in. The rest of them are just talking over there in the dark.
Yeah, too cool. I get it.
Bunch of blue church freaking.
Who's sleeping?
He didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
Well, yeah, he didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but that's not my fault.
Is it Elijah?
No, Andrew locked himself out all night long.
Why didn't he say anything? I was literally driving off, watching him.
That was
stand
Trying
at the
to
door.
get in there. Yeah,
I just-
so he walked all the way here, and I didn't wake up either. So he spent all night just walking the streets
Oh, Andrew.
like a homeless vagrant.
Wow.
I love that one. Look at Young God at the end.
Oh, and if his parents watch this live stream, his goose is cooked.
I knew this would be a good idea. Reaction video.
So Haitians eating dogs is crazy, but Haitians eating Haitians in Haiti is just what happens when Law and Order loses to chaos.
I love you, YG.
They should eat the geese. They're annoying as hell.
Shit's slick as hell.
So you guys know the meme with the goose asking the question over and over again? You've never seen that meme?
No.
Oh, let me find the meme.
Yeah, tell Eric to just speak up as best as he can.
Yeah,
Can you
Eric.
hear me better now?
Much better.
Mucho mejor, mi amigo.
Okay. All right. Different headphones.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
nice.
I can hear you well.
But yeah,
We were struggling a little bit.
I was too. Turns out.
Okay,
Thank
so
you for
this
joining
is
us.
this is the Goose Chase meme where like a goose asks a question and somebody runs away, and the goose follows along, asking the question over again, right? Like, who is eating the cats? Right? And then he asks the same question again. Who is eating the cats?
Oh my God.
Right?
I've never seen that.
Oh, you haven't? It's hilarious.
Never?
Awesome.
Anyway, so people were reversing it, and now the goose was running away.
Oh, that's great. Oh God.
Oh, that's terrible.
The Haitians eating animals memes definitely are the best memes of this election cycle.
There you go.
I don't know, man.
They didn't make any memes off of the assassination. It seems like there are no great memes to come out of that one, which is like shocking to me, kind of.
You know, but that's what it is when the Democrats own all the media. Like, if that picture had been Kamala Harris, like everybody would be constantly like the Trump
She would have won.
image, that Trump fist bump, right? That image. So like this image would definitely be like all over the place all of the time, but this is like that's not going to happen now.
You can get it as a canvas poster.
Of course you
I want
can.
it as a
That is
tattoo.
incredible.
Tattoo.
Isn't that kind of weird though? How that story has just kind of disappeared.
It's not weird.
It's kind of
forgotten.
That's what it's like
it's
to
this
live in a
Schizophrenic society.
It's not schizophrenic. It is a dictatorship of the Democrats. The Blue Cathedral.
Oh wow, the cathedral, huh? You say?
Yeah, the Blue Cathedral. Like, yeah, this is why you cannot be an informed and moral person and vote for Kamala Harris.
To try and be a little bit centrist and a little bit down the middle.
Why would you do that?
The meta take, in my opinion, this may sound blasé. This is where we're at, folks. This is where we're at. Just a shit talking billionaire, a real estate agent, wine mom, say and adopt anything position, DA. Like, this is where we're at. This is where the empire has fallen to.
So that reminds me, the black vote. Kamala needs the black vote, and Trump has the best shot at the black vote that any Republican has ever had.
Do you think it's a black men versus black women type of thing split
Yes.
though in this election, where it's going to be like black
De-
men all
definitely
vote for Trump,
Could be.
black women all vote for Kamala?
No, yes, there's definitely a split male and female, but black females have also, especially married black females, have definitely been
I could see that. Yeah. Like
look.
more.
The Republicans used to lose the black vote by 95-5 or 90-10.
Yeah.
If he even gets 20% of the black vote, the Democrats are going to lose in a landslide.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of African Americans who do not think of Kamala Harris as being black. Did you guys see that CNN video?
Well, they touched on that as well.
So some CNN producer went for Ali, whatever his name is, Velshi or whatever his name is, went to a black barber shop, and he's asking questions about Kamala, and everybody in the barber shop was like, she's not black. And this was CNN.
Yeah, but their point was, it was very strange because it was almost like, look how look how ignorant black people are. They don't know that. Like it's
Well,
it's an
CNN
absurd
Yeah,
video.
CNN can
It's
say
shocking
that.
to watch.
CNN can say that, but the question is, are
Oh
black
wait.
voters going to see her as not being really black? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, was that the one that they were talking about? Oh, yeah, some of these were low information voters and that sort of thing, and I don't know if that was the same video.
Yeah, like it's like
I think it's low information voters on mass.
Well, I mean, in fairness, it's them providing low information. So,
Touche. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a nasty cycle.
well, I mean, it's a perpetual motion machine. It's been working for a while.
As John Adams said, it's only for a moral and educated society, and we are far from
Yeah,
that.
that's a fact.
so. Who thinks Trump's gonna win? Who thinks Kamala's gonna win?
If I had to bet my
Who's
house
bold
on it,
enough?
if I had to bet my check on it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the blue machine's gonna pull out.
My
Oh,
my
alright,
best
I like
my
it.
best information is Nate Silver, and Nate Silver's saying 60-40 Trump.
I don't have to bet.
Okay. Yeah. My I won't even say it. I won't even say it. I'll say it.
What else?
My hope in some way is that Kamala wins, but I think Trump, because I hope that.
Expound
Why
on
do
that.
you
Yeah,
hope-
expound,
I
my
think
brother.
it's a worse monkey wrench, as you say.
Oh,
than-
you're an
than Trump.
accelerationist.
No,
Took it out of my brain.
That's why I didn't want to say it, because I'd be accused. No, but that's why I think Trump's gonna win. My deepest wish won't come true.
Why is it your deepest wish that the deep state win?
Okay, but that was part of my next question: is what comes after? If either of them win, what would come after?
Question is by what?
DeSantis next.
By what?
DeSantis.
No, it really depends by what margin. If Trump
point.
squeaks it forward, things are going to continue the way they have been for the past 8 to 16 years.
Yeah.
The Democrats are going to pretend it's an anomaly. They are not going to change anything. Probably somebody like Gavin Newsom is going to win the next primary, or whoever.
Yeah.
If Kamala squeaks it forward, same thing. Nothing's going to change.
You don't think people would be like, we need some stronger medicine? Kamala just won. This is insane. We can't take this anymore.
I think there will be a lot of Republicans who will think it was stolen again.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know if that's gonna. So I want to say something about Yon God. It's not an IQ test, because the fact is, the higher IQ you are, the more likely you're rationalizing why Kamala Harris winning is actually a good thing. There's a lot of David French midwits in the world.
So what, all right. So
So it's not a question of IQ; it's a question of wisdom.
yeah,
Low wisdom voters will be voting for Kamala. That's not necessarily low IQ. There's a difference between wisdom and IQ. Okay, yeah, a wisdom test. So you wanted to this one or the next one?
Hold on. Yeah, this one.
While they're eating geese, it's a meme. But if they start eating bald eagles, there will be a popular revolt. We don't have enough bald eagles for them to eat, unfortunately.
I liked your framing of the wisdom, because my next framing was going to be what is it a test of? You nailed it. So I think you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of people who are either immoral, ignorant, or stupid in terms of wisdom who are going to be voting for Kamala.
I have a hard time blaming people too much.
Yeah.
Partially just because most of what people have to go on, and then this kind of goes to the whole voting demographic thing too, as well. Is like the fact of the matter is that the mass media, the propaganda machine, for lack of a better term,
Yes.
can create the perception of a certain
Dynamic.
a dynamic voter block, whatever, and then meanwhile, everybody that's functionally running the country on the day-to-day basis, people that are too busy to really go out and go to events or do all the side hustle stuff that's involved in campaigning or whatever else. Most normal people just do not have the time and or energy, which might be by design.
Look, I have friends and family who are doctors, and as doctors, they don't have the time to listen to all the news and be aware of all the political stuff. They're actually, being busy being doctors. Do I
Well,
blame them?
wait, there's another thing that comes into this sort of thing, which I think is again why I think it's kind of built into the system, since people like talking about the system a lot in confession through projection and all that jazz. But all the regulations, all of the hoops that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, whether it be HOAs or paperwork or insurance or whatever, all that sort of stuff is extra stuff that's not actually dealing with the issues most of the time. It's again, it's padding. It's basically stuffing the box so full that you don't have room to move. And I think those professionals would have more time to think if they did not have to deal with a whole bunch of BS, which is built into the administrative bureaucratic state and everything else. So,
Yep. I agree.
Look, politics. The fact is, politics captures our attention, but who you vote for, like, it is not a really good thing on your salience hierarchy, right? This is not a good way of spending your time. Like the last 8 years of political bullshit that I know, right? I could be doing much better things with my time.
sure.
So I don't blame people who, and I have a lot of very smart friends who are like, why would I bother? And they don't.
Right.
Orthodox Boomer Grandma, once again, I want you to come on my channel. You should be coming on my channel. And she says, I hate that she could win. And I do as well.
She looked at it.
She looked at us by looking at the camera. He never did. She's very appealing, unfortunately. She's more appealing than I wish she would be. Luke says, who won the debate? Which direction will popular opinion swing because of the debate?
Right to the point. That's what I want to know. I didn't get to see it.
I don't think there was a clear winner. I think she definitely did better than I had hoped.
I'll give an answer.
Go ahead.
I'll give an answer. Kamala won. Kamala won because of frame of reference. I thought she was going to be wine mommed out and very struggling with off the cuff rhetoric, and she was honed in.
In some ways, like her not coming out looking worse is kind of a win.
That's
on
exactly
her
the frame. That's exactly what I was trying to articulate.
in some sad way.
Ultimately, I don't think
she's not a dementia patient. So yeah, I mean that's a step up. But I mean, here's the thing that I don't get. Like I get the perception. She's kind of like, oh yeah, she's not the wine mom when you see her kind of drunk and obnoxious. Okay, that's a win, I guess. But like, and of course, Trump is obnoxious with how he delivers and everything like that. But he actually had, except for those rabbit trails, he actually had more substantive issues to counter on. So it depends on if people were actually paying attention to the words or were they paying attention to the.
He missed a lot of opportunities. He missed a lot of opportunities to drive things home that I don't think 8 years ago he would have missed.
Possibly, sure.
To some degree, 8 years ago, yes. But also, this is where I think not everybody's going to be so politically savvy, so politically invested, so politically interested into where, and this might just be my framing, but he's not a politician. He's a giant wrench. He's a giant FU to what this country has been about and what it's been for the last, I mean, I go back 60 years. I mean, it's not that he's going to be able to recognize the moment for counterpunch. That's not his thing. His thing is to say, hey, look, this, and this, I'm going to speak about it. And this is what the actual heart of America cares about. and he got enough votes in 2016 to steal the show.
Yeah, look, I don't think this. I think this debate had the potential for moving the needle. I don't think it is going to move the needle. There are many possibilities out there, which include that people are not going to be convinced, which she needed to convince them, that she can be president of the United States. She sounded whiny to me. I think it's possible that she could have sounded whiny to other people, and I think it's actually very relevant that there was a part of it where it was Trump and the moderators debating, and she looked like a spectator, right? So it's not clear how this is going to impact. And I think there's definitely potential that she alienated a lot of her base, especially when she was kissing up to the Cheneys and the McCain.
And the pro-Israel.
Okay, I
Right.
had a. I don't know if I would say a point or like a question about it, but like when I was bringing up the point of like her running this ad campaign about like I'm tough on borders or whatever, like I literally saw it on TV a couple days ago, and then you said something about
Where?
her here
in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Why is she running?
What I was thinking is like there's no lose of her own base for running that in some way, because it's like her base is not gonna ever
Lose no
see
matter
that.
Yeah.
They're not even gonna pay attention. So it's like it's smart. That would be the smartest thing for her to
Her
do.
base
is run
was-
to the right in
Well,
some way.
but her base was watching this debate. The base
Sure.
is the people who actually pay attention. I don't think. See, people. I think people think that the anti-Israel people are a large number of people. They're really not. I think
like
the
the
people.
Palestinian
Yeah,
leftist people,
the watermelon crazies. They are a small number of people.
for sure.
The people who hate Dick Cheney, that's a much larger group of
Okay,
people.
touche.
The people who are opposed to the immigration thing, they're a large number of people. And frankly, when it comes to abortion, the fact is her base is so far out there that they will actually ding her for not standing up for late term abortions, which she was acting like they never happened.
Oh, really? That was a question. At the
That
Yes.
was, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, and I just wanted to highlight too Luke's framing of the people that pay attention. I think that's so relevant. Is the 0.3% of the demographic that is paying attention. And so I we're the weirdos that are interrogating this stuff and very interested in this stuff. It's much more symbolic rhetoric that I think
I think more than 3% of the American people were watching tonight.
I said 0.3%.
I think more than 10% probably. I don't know how many.
But-
By the way,
just-
Marcus wants to know if that's you, Perlato.
Yes, I just texted him. Hey Marcus, I thought
I'm
already-
just sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Eric. No, you're good.
I just want to be really clear that really a lot of my voter base knows that I have to do whatever it takes to win. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Dr. Shera, we are wondering what you, as the premier Austrian economist in this little corner, have to say about this stuff. Like, what were you saying? Like, what did you think? And how come you didn't show up? Matthew came all the way to Los Angeles to watch the debate with you, and you decided you had better things to do than to come watch the debate with us.
There was no wedding in Santa Barbara. I thought I texted Marcus. I feel really bad. I don't. think I
Marcus
ever
said he
texted.
was going to come. I thought
Okay.
he leased a car just so he could come to the debate, and I have no idea. I guess his new car just crapped out on him or something. Did you get the car, Marcus?
I mean, I think Trump did have that one line where he said her policy was so simple it was just like run, spot, run or whatever.
It's okay.
I mean, he did. I don't know if it was a good idea or a bad idea that he did that unspeaking thing basically twice over
My
the course of the
my
debate.
thing with that stuff is if you're gonna go for the more juvenile hit over the head, it's really
Yeah.
got to hit. He's
Right.
got what is it? Lion Hillary. What was it? What was corrupt Hillary?
Yeah, he used to be able to like destroy people by giving them nicknames and stuff. Elijah said it, and I think he was right. Trump has slowed down over the past 8 years, which look, the man's in his 80s now, and
Right.
so yeah.
Most recent. I thought that was a good point as well, Young God, is they mentioned she didn't hesitate. It was very early on, maybe 20 minutes in. She mentioned his recent criminal charges. And I thought for those who are paying attention, shout out Luke, it would have been wise to acknowledge like, hey, I had a chance to throw her in jail. She was dead to rights. And he has said now multiple times, I saw it just on a recent interview. I quoted it to you on a live stream I joined, that he didn't want to symbolically sully and denigrate and dirty up the first lady of a presidential partnership to where she goes to prison. And he had the chance absolutely to do that. And he said I'm not going to make that move. And then when they
What
got
for?
Say it again.
What for?
For Benghazi. For all of the flawed things she did in Benghazi.
The
But my
server management and all that and everything.
Yes, and deleting emails, destroying evidence, blah blah blah. And my point is, he should have again. I think to go to Jacob's point, he could have been a better politician to say, "Hey, I had the chance to throw Hillary in jail, and I did not."
He did do that. He did say that. He did talk about that.
I
He
didn't
talked
know-
about them weaponizing the
Yes,
Justice
he
Department.
did,
and stuff.
but I don't think he explicitly went into the Hillary Clinton aspect.
He's done that enough. I thought that.
Well, I've heard it twice on other interviews. I think it would have been wise to say it there and to say, hey, look, you want to bring up weaponizing the DOJ. I had a chance to sit here and wield the DOJ and throw her in jail. And as soon as I got out of offense, boom, you guys went after your political opponent. I think that would have held water.
Okay, I have to say we're almost an hour into this live stream. There's a bunch of people watching online who should get a real life because we're actually sitting in a room in Los Angeles in the flesh talking with each other. Anybody in the room here actually want to say something before I close the stream?
Jacob, did you say anything about Cheney?
Pencil neck Jeb.
I did mention Cheney, yes.
Pencil neck Jeb is great.
That was a good point you had.
Kamala's brat.
Okay, let's see what.
Say it louder.
Kamala's brat.
She's brat as hell, dude.
Okay, we're gonna let Dr. Marcus Shera, PhD, actually say his thoughts. One, Trump looked good in light of the moderators attacking him. That's true. Two, where I diverge with Trump most is on immigration and tariffs and election fraud. I plead the fifth. Tariffs, really, Marcus, I actually want to hear you out on that because I actually think the tariffs. When Paul Ryan came out with the border differential, I thought that was actually a smart thing. I would like to see us move to a VAT tax from an income tax. So I'm not so anti-tariff.
Well, and Marcus, I don't know if you've been here the whole time. I actually went into a little bit of the construal of those tariffs earlier in the stream.
Yeah, but you don't know anything about economics.
Yeah, I don't know anything. But I would love to hear your thoughts on it, on squeezing the chance at the American market is kind of, just to put it in the gist.
And when it comes to immigration, there is a world of difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. The fact that people confuse the two is absolutely unforgivable. And what was your number three? Kamala said nothing which was to be expected. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Which you mean which was not to be expected? Yeah, I mean, yeah. If the choice is between tariffs and higher income tax, corporate tax, then I take tariffs any day. Exactly. and agreed on legal versus illegal immigration.
Count one more time. Count one more time. But what if the consumer base has a chance to go to another provider of the goods? Then it does not be paid by the consumer.
No, tariffs are paid by the consumer,
But it's to
but that this is the problem people have who understand a little bit of economics but not enough of economics, right? Yes, you can come up with composite numbers. You can come up like this is Markowitz, right? If you don't if you try saying, hey, immigration is a net benefit to the economy, yes, immigration is a net benefit to the economy, but there are winners and losers. And this is what Eric Weinstein has been going on about at length with his wife for the past 20 years or so.
Eric or Brett?
What? Eric.
Oh, I haven't ever seen Eric with his wife.
His wife works for George Soros.
Whoa, I did not know that.
She is an economist who works for George Soros. That's Eric Weinstein likes to point out that he's taken money both from Peter Thiel and George Soros, yet nobody gives him credit for playing both sides. But yeah,
can I clarify them? So
Sure.
if the tariff is on to the provider of goods, and so the provider of goods is just going to raise their price, so that it comes back to the homeland consumer, you can still say, all right, you raised your price, now we're going to another provider of goods. That was the framing I was at.
Right, and
Okay.
and you're going to buy domestic goods, which makes a huge difference.
Yes. Okay. So then I think my point still
And
somewhat lands.
and
I'm not Marcus.
Jason is throwing shade because he's living in sin with his girlfriend. Some people actually get married.
She's a
Other
babe.
people live in sin.
I met her in
Jason,
person. She's more gorgeous than you thought online.
Jason-
She's so beautiful.
Jason, who claims to be a Christian and is living in sin.
He's about to get initiated into
Catholicism. His wife / girlfriend / I won't say the word that he's living in sin with.
Willie, you showed up late.
Um,
William, I love you, William.
Okay, tariffs put a cost on doing business to some suppliers, decreasing supply. By that means there are higher consumer prices. Domestic firms and workers, i.e. unions, like this.
Okay.
Yeah, less trade means less resources to invest in our own specialties.
And less options. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Are you guys? If you guys want to keep on talking, I'll let the stream run. Or we
There's
will.
30 people watching. I can't believe only Eric's joining.
There
Shame on
aren't
you guys. Shame on
30
you guys.
people watching. There's only 17 people. X live like a dog.
Can I just ask a question about the whole tariff theory right there?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
So, I mean, yes, I can see how those, the prices would increase because of supply and restriction on whatever. There's multiple avenues there, but at some point, because we've been so depleted on the production on like factory sides and all that sort of stuff, at this point, hasn't the cost benefit shifted significantly to where we're just, well, like for example, when the pandemic, hit and everything, and we all of a sudden we're like, oh wait, we don't have supplies because they all come from China and they just hoarded them and didn't ship this, all this crap, right? Like, how do we not have the basic infrastructure that can at least be like 2/3 of the way there?
You can, but you don't know anything about economics.
This is where Dugan comes in. This is where
Oh,
Alexander.
okay, stop.
This is
Stop.
where Dugan.
Stop. Okay. The point of my channel is for people who actually know things to talk, which is
Oh, my
where
bad.
I'm going to stop him from saying stupid things.
No, look,
No,
Oh.
this is my channel. Stupidity gets zero voice here.
Hold on, how am I on here then?
a more localized,
Shut up!
more human-sized
Go away!
region. You're gonna kick me out of your own.
Did everything just shut off? No, I don't know.
Some noise in the background.
Yes, I muted him while he was speaking so nobody would hear the stupidity coming out of his mouth.
Is this big tech censorship?
Yes, it is. It is definitely censorship. I believe in culture. I am definitely into cancel culture. I will cancel all stupidity that I can.
Oh man.
The fact is that if you are going to be protectionist, which I think to some extent you should be,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Within reason. I'm not saying completely isolationist. I'm just have a reasonable backup
So
generators.
COVID did accomplish some of that, but when you know that it's long term, that this is the policy of the United States, that we are going to charge you for importing things to our country, yes, it actually works by keeping your money in your country. And if your job, as it is to protect your independence and your economic vitality as a country, then yes, there's levels of mercantilism that make sense. I will let Dr. Shara speak. Eric, that's on stream. Yeah, dependency is a problem that was big in the literature 50 years ago in development econ. It seems like tariffs mostly hurt those countries, though. What you were saying matters more for smaller countries, not the United States. I have to say, India is a really good test case for how tariffs can hurt you. And India was definitely hurt by the policies of that child molester Gandhi. He really made life hell for billions of people through his stupid protectionism. But I think there can be a happy middle.
I would think so. I mean, because part of it is just like the bare minimum of, hey, are we going to be reliant on a government that's openly hostile and very much open to world domination? Yes, I get that it's mildly hypocritical sometimes when the U.S. also does world domination-ish. Then again, we're bad at it, so.
Look,
We
I would
can,
rather we dominate the world than anybody else.
Click on that one.
yeah.
So
Bless
this
you.
is where my yeah, thank you. That's in the background. You got good news. Bless you, Andrew. So this is where my construal is, and perhaps I needed to elaborate more. Is it comes into the short term versus long term? Is trying to punish that provider, and thus maybe taking a hit on the us can in the long term maybe allow for other providers to rise up and say, hey, we can compete and we will offer you here this price, because I love Marcus. I totally agree. He's much more educated and much more robust on the economics, but I just think there perhaps is a there, and maybe it's the temporality, maybe it's the Argentinian thing of taking the hit on the chin for maybe a longer term better goal. And yeah, I just think that it's worth finding out for where we're at and where we're going. I think it's worth finding out.
And I will repeat
sure.
that Matthew doesn't seem to understand basic economics, which is why he says the things that he does. Okay. Good night.